Holy shit. Welcome back, everybody, to Altcoin Daily. We have a lot to talk about today. Bitcoin has just taken the single biggest day dip that it's had in years. Technically, this happened over 2 days, I guess, but 51% to the bottom, over 50% in 24 hours, 63% if you're measuring from the local top that we had about 3 weeks ago. 63%. You know what this looks like to me? Take a look at this. This looks like to me about 4 years ago, back in August of 2016. I'm going to make a comparison to 4 years ago. It's not exactly the same. I get that. You know, the dip back here, not as severe. I get that. But there are some similarities. For instance, the market structure looks similar. Besides that, just like today in 2020, back here in 2016, this was about a year after the market had been going up for a little over a year. A lot of people were suspicious back in 2016 of this first rally right here. See, this first rally in 2016 was caused because a lot of people bought into a Ponzi scheme. So people weren't sure if it was legitimate. So this second rally, the one I'm comparing it to, people felt a little bit better about this one because, you know, they just put a little bit more of their trust and boom, shakeout, just like we have today. Yet, after this, Bitcoin never went that low again. I mean, this is what it means to be a hodler, guys. This is what it means. You've earned your stripes today if you didn't sell. I mean, is it a little bit disheartening? Was I disheartened to see a 50% shakeout in Bitcoin? Of course, I was disheartened. Did I ever think of selling? Did I ever think of capitulating? No, I honestly didn't. The fundamentals for Bitcoin are still there. You know that. The better question is, if Bitcoin is supposed to be this uncorrelated asset, hey, Bitcoin's supposed to be this hedge. What the hell is going on? Hedges are not supposed to do this, and the global markets are tanking all across the world. If Bitcoin was ever going to be a hedge, wouldn't now be it? See, I want to bring you back now to 12 years ago. This was before Bitcoin even existed. So we need to go to traditional markets. I'm talking, of course, about a special time in financial history, and that was the 2008 global financial crisis. Many people consider the 2008 global financial crisis to be the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression. Now, that's, of course, before 2020, but everything in 2008 tanked, including the hedge, gold. Did you know that gold also suffered a massive dip in 2008, despite the fact that it truly is an uncorrelated hedge? Why did that happen? Gold is supposed to be the hedge. Well, I mean, gold probably dipped for, a multitude of reasons. Probably most likely, there's fear and negativity in the air in 2008. Maybe some people needed cash. Maybe hedge funds were managing their money. Overall, I think it was just because there was a lot of fear and negativity in the world at this time. But guess what? Gold is a hedge. A few months passed and gold went right back up, and the year passed and it went right back up, and pretty soon gold was rallying higher than ever. So the point is, even hedges are susceptible to massive sell-offs. Hopefully, just like gold in 2008, hopefully we see Bitcoin rallying back up as well. It's not just me who thinks that, by the way. Ari Paul is the chief investment officer for an investment firm, and he thinks something similar. He says, I've had a really simple mental model for Bitcoin in a severe equity sell-off that's been unchanged since literally 2006. Look at gold heading into, during, and coming out of the 2008 financial crisis. I think that's Bitcoin this time around. And that's what I just said, so I like it. I agree. Besides that, let's get to some news. The Federal Reserve has just pumped $1 trillion into the U.S. economy. A freaking $1 trillion. This is one for the record books. In other news, it's not only a sad day for Bitcoin, it's a sad day for decentralized finance, I guess. DeFi leader MakerDAO weighs emergency shutdown following the ETH price drop. So you know that MakerDAO, the DeFi stablecoin. It's the crown jewel of the DeFi ecosystem. Well, a large drop in the price of ETH is testing the feasibility of Ethereum's entire system of lending and borrowing. MakerDAO is the largest and most important application in Ethereum's decentralized finance ecosystem. Right now, it faces an emergency shutdown with 4 million of its dollar-pegged DAI stablecoins not backed by an underlying crypto asset. This is according to a stakeholder call, which happened today, Thursday. If a shutdown were to occur, the crypto market would be flooded with some 2.4 million ETH, even as the asset's value plummets amid broader market turmoil. A spokesperson for the MakerDAO Foundation told CoinDesk the MakerDAO community and the Maker Foundation have been working hand in hand to monitor, assess, and resolve the current situation. The Maker protocol works by creating DAI loans when users load ETH or basic attention token into the system as collateral. Maker then automatically sells that collateral when the market tanks in order to get DAI off the market until the system hits its 150% collateral target. But the price dropped too sharply for MakerDAO's automated auctions to keep up. The MakerDAO Foundation and holders of the Maker governance token are trying to decide right now what to do. Options on the table include lowering the DAI savings rate, extending the length of time for liquidation auctions, and even triggering the emergency shutdown, effectively a system of reboot for MakerDAO. They're thinking about rebooting MakerDAO. We are living in a brave new world, Rich Brown, the foundation's head of community, said on the call. If we were a centralized system, we would have a dictator and know what to do. I mean, yes, it is decentralized to a degree. You don't really have a dictator. You have a parliament. If MakerDAO experiences an emergency shutdown, DAI becomes redeemable for the Ether backing all of the DAI outstanding. Robert Leshner, the founder of the DeFi protocol Compound Finance, told CoinDesk, it stops behaving like a stablecoin and begins behaving like Ethereum, price-wise. This will have unintended consequences for the entire ecosystem, some of which have planned for the possibility of this event and others have not. So, the fact is, Ethereum dropped much too quickly for DAI to keep up. So, Ethereum dropped 50% as well. I mean, look at this, guys. Woo! XRP, 11 cents. Who's buying? Let me know if you're buying XRP. Litecoin, $25. Who's buying? Tether, $1. It's pretty cheap. What else? EOS, $150. Tezos, $1. Chainlink, $150. Cardano, less than 2 cents. Monero, about 25. Who's buying? Who's buying? I am buying Bitcoin. I've been like a broken record this whole time. I'm only buying Bitcoin until we see retail come back in, until we see that trend change, which some coins have presumably gone through a trend change, like Binance or like Chainlink, but the majority of the crypto market has not. And Bitcoin has, thank goodness, assuming we don't go lower. Next story. This is something that I wanted to get to in my last video. I didn't get a chance. Nonetheless, I think it's very important. This is on Kraken's website. It's a press release of sorts. Kraken, the exchange, has announced a recommitment to Indian markets following their Supreme Court ruling. Check this out. At Kraken, we've long served the Indian markets with a full suite of exchange products, including spot, derivative, futures, all complete with best-in-class security and execution. Unfortunately, our growth in the market had been limited by the 2018 ruling issued by the Reserve Bank of India, RBI, that prohibited banks from opening accounts for crypto businesses. That's why we are thrilled to see the Indian Supreme Court overrule the RBI's ban last week. As believers in the potential of cryptocurrencies to promote financial freedom, we've long seen our services as essential in opening access to Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. Armed with the ability to expand our offering, Kraken is excited to recommit resources to growing its service in the region through new features and offerings. Stay tuned for more updates and announcements from Kraken as the year unfolds. The future is bright for crypto in India, and at Kraken, we're going to be there every step of the way. There are more on-ramps for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency than ever before, and they are anxious to tackle new markets and do business, and that's good for all of us. Hey, who's following us on Twitter? If you have been following us on our Twitter, link in the description at altcoindailyio.